I never thought a scar could change the fate of two species. It was just a thin silver line that ran diagonally across my collarbone, left over from a boarding skirmish 12 years earlier. Back then, I was a junior officer in the Terran Vanguard fleet, assigned to a patrol near the Karos Rift. Pirates had hit a civilian transport and we responded. The fight was chaotic, close quarters, full of screaming metal and flickering emergency lights. A blade caught me before I caught it. I lived. The pirate didn't. The mission moved on. The scar remained. I had long since stopped thinking about it, until the day I stepped onto the alien world of Verelia. The diplomatic station was carved into a massive crystalline cliff, its architecture all flowing curves and translucent panels that shimmered like water. It was beautiful in an unsettling way, as though the building was alive and breathing around us. I was part of a small Terran delegation sent to finalize a trade corridor agreement. Routine politics. Smiles, handshakes, cautious optimism. Nothing dangerous. Or so I thought. I was walking through the grand hall when I felt it, eyes on me. Not just casual observation. Focused. Intense. I turned. She stood near one of the crystal pillars, tall and slender, her skin a pale lavender tone with faint bioluminescent lines tracing her neck and arms. Her eyes were enormous, silver irises reflecting the hall's glow. She wore flowing ceremonial robes, but it was her stillness that struck me, like a predator that had just recognized prey. She walked toward me. Every step she took made the faint hum of the building feel louder, like a heartbeat echoing in my skull. My escorting officer paused, uncertain. Diplomats nearby fell silent. The alien woman stopped an arm's length away and stared at my chest. Not my eyes. My chest. Specifically my scar. Her voice, when it came, was soft but carried effortlessly. "You," she said in precise Terran standard. "Where did you get that wound?" I blinked. "Excuse me?" She raised a slender hand and pointed directly at my scar. "That mark. I have seen it before." A ripple of unease passed through me. "I doubt that," I replied carefully. "It's from a military incident." She leaned in closer, studying the line with reverence and horror mixed together. "It is exactly as the memory describes. The blade angle, the depth, the interruption of flesh." My escort stepped forward. "Ambassador Kale, perhaps we should." The alien woman lifted a finger, and the escort froze mid-sentence. Not by force, but by instinct. Something in her authority demanded obedience. She finally met my eyes. "You were at the Karos Rift 12 cycles ago," she said. My breath caught. I hadn't told anyone here that. "How do you know that?" Her expression changed. Not anger. Recognition. Like she had found a ghost. "My name is Valira," she said. "I am of the Verelian Memory Choir. I carry the recollections of my people. And I remember you." A memory choir. Genetic memory. I'd read about species who pass experiences down through neural lineage. Rare. Unstable. Often unreliable. But her certainty was chilling. "I remember the night your blade ended my brother's life," she said quietly. The room seemed to tilt. I swallowed hard. "Your brother?" She nodded. "He was one of the raiders who attacked the civilian vessel. The one with the hooked plasma knife. The one who cut you." A cold wave swept over me. The pirate. The boarding fight. The creature lunging from smoke. The strike that nearly opened my throat. My return blow. His fall. I had killed her brother. Tension spread across the hall like cracking ice. Verelian guards moved subtly closer. Terran security shifted their stance. No one spoke. Then Valira did something unexpected. She bowed. "I have searched for you across 10 star systems," she said. "Not for revenge. For truth." I exhaled slowly. Truth. My people believed humans were monsters, she said. Savage. Brutal. A plague of expansion. My brother's memory showed me his last sight. Your face, determined, afraid, but fighting to protect others. Not killing for pleasure. Killing to save. Her voice trembled. I needed to know if that memory lied. I stood still, unsure what to say. War doesn't give clean answers, I said at last. I didn't know who he was. I just knew civilians would die if I failed. She studied me for a long moment. Then she nodded. Then the memory was true. The tension in the hall eased, but something heavier replaced it. Expectation. Valira turned to the gathered delegates. My people have debated whether humanity deserves trust, she announced. We feared your strength, your fleets, your relentless advance. But we did not understand your nature. She placed a hand over her heart. Today I saw proof. Humans do not fight for conquest alone. You fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. Murmurs rippled through the Varelians. She turned back to me. My brother chose the path of predation. You chose the path of defense. His death was his consequence. I felt an ache in my chest. I'm sorry for your loss, I said. Truly. She closed her eyes briefly. And I am grateful for your scar. It carried the truth across time. Silence fell again, but this time it was different. Not threatening. Sacred. The negotiations that followed changed everything. Varelia agreed not only to trade corridors, but to a defensive alliance. Their living crystal technology merged with Terran engineering. Together, we built ships stronger, faster, more resilient than anything the galaxy had seen. And when pirate clans and hostile empires tested that alliance, they learned a harsh lesson. Humanity did not stand alone anymore. Years later, I stood on the bridge of a joint Terran-Varelian flagship. Valira stood beside me, her glowing lines pulsing softly. You still carry the scar, she said. Yeah, I replied. Guess it's part of me. She smiled faintly. Scars are history written on flesh. Yours rewrote the fate of 2 species. I looked out at the stars. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and unforgiving. But for the first time, I felt something stronger than fear or pride. Purpose. Because sometimes the past doesn't haunt you. Sometimes it leads you forward. And humanity, scarred, stubborn, and unbreakable, kept moving forward into the endless dark, lighting the way not just for ourselves, but for those who once feared us. The past had come crashing back, and together we had risen from it. The ceremony ended with soft chimes echoing through the crystalline hall. Agreements were signed. Hands, human and Varelian, met in gestures of trust that had not existed only hours before. But I remained still, staring at the faint silver line across my chest. Valira approached once more, her luminous markings pulsing gently. Your scar troubled you, she said. Not troubled, I replied. Just reminded. I never imagined one moment in a corridor years ago would matter this much. She considered that. Among my people, scars are not hidden. They are proof that existence has tested you and found you unbroken. I gave a small smile. Humans usually just call them bad memories. Perhaps that is why you are strong, she said. You endure what hurts and keep walking forward. Later, as our ship departed Varelia, I stood at the observation window. The planet's glowing surface slowly shrank behind us. Somewhere down there, Valira was returning to her memory choir, carrying new truth to her people. My past had not vanished. The pirate I killed was still dead. The fear of that night still lingered in the back of my mind. But now there was balance, understanding. a reason that reached beyond survival. I touched the scar once, lightly, not as a wound, but as a reminder that even in the chaos of the stars, a single human choice to stand between danger and the innocent could echo across worlds. The past had come crashing back, and instead of breaking me, it had built something greater. The stars ahead awaited. Humanity would meet them unafraid.